Now, in order to make a good decision, you have to understand a basic sentence. If you can remember one sentence, and we all have to memorize stuff, right? Maybe you went to college. I'm sure you did K through 12 at some point. You had to memorize something for a test. I'm asking you not to do a lot of homework, but just to remember one sentence. That sentence is to eat meats, non-starchy vegetables. What does that mean? Anything but corn, some beans, and potatoes, sweet potatoes, things like that. All right, so stay away from the starchy stuff. So usually the greener, the better. Green beans, asparagus, any leafy green like kale, spinach, chard, lettuce, whatever. The greener, the better. All right, avocados are a great one. Well, avocados are technically a fruit. It's non-starchy vegetables, raw nuts and seeds. All right, stay away from salted nuts and seeds. Those will bloat you. And then roasted, those tend to be fried and trans fat. That's not something that you want to ingest and put into your body, whether it's organic or not. So raw nuts or seeds, any kind would do. Keep in mind, peanuts are not a tree nut. We want to eat tree nuts or raw tree nuts or seeds, all right? Then half a cup or less of non-grain-based starch. What does that mean? Well, grains, breads, pasta, rices, the things that the food pyramid or My Plate taught us in school. Yeah, that's all BS. You don't want to ingest any of that. It's not good for you. It's inflammatory. It's genetically modified and selectively engineered. Those crops. So it's not even the stuff that our ancestors ate, and that wasn't even good for them back then. So that's gotten progressively worse. I truly believe, and there are some great books like Wheat Belly, Grain Brain that highlight the negative health effects that grains have had on us. So half a cup or less of starch. So you can go back to those starchy vegetables if you like, and that's where you throw them in, and half a cup less. Potatoes, corn, some legumes, some beans are very high in their glycemic load, and then no added sugar. All right, so we don't want to dump sugar on the stuff. We don't want to put sugar in our sauces. The only sugar we should be ingesting is the sugar that's naturally occurring in the fruits and vegetables that we're eating. All right, so again, meats, non-starchy vegetables, raw tree nuts and seeds, half a cup or less of non-grain-based starch, and no added sugar. All right, that simple. So think about that. So again, getting back to that menu, a lot of those dishes had, like in the salad example, croutons. That's made out of grains. It's like a dry bread, right? We don't want to eat grains. So you can either ask for the salad without the grains, so without the croutons, or find a salad that does not list the croutons. I didn't get that salad again because they had my New England clam chowder. I know there's a couple potatoes in it. Sue me. There wasn't half a cup of potato in the cup of New England clam chowder that I had. You don't want to have croutons in your salad, all right? And you want to try and avoid that stuff at all costs. So when the dinner basket of bread comes out, you want to try and avoid it. How do you do that? Have some water. If it's earlier in the day, have some coffee. That'll help satiate you long enough until your courses come out. And then when you're looking at dinner, you want to stay away from stuff. So if you see mashed potatoes, there's going to be more than half a cup of potato in there, all right? And often it's not the only thing that's in the mashed potatoes. If there's like a bread or pastry that's connected to the meal in the description, you don't want to have that either. So I always try to look for a grilled or baked or roasted meat, usually grilled or baked, and I want to have some non-starchy vegetables. So if it's like the salmon, and it came with asparagus and a couple other things, I had some options. So asparagus and broccoli is what I got. Those were two of the vegetables that they offered that I was able to get. So again, the greener tends to be the better, the non-starchier, the better. That's how you make the decision, all right? And it's really just internalizing that sentence. If you can internalize that sentence and then you do a little bit of homework, you're going to be all right. And like I said, always try to map out what restaurants are in the area that you're going to be in if you are leaving town for any period of time. And obviously you're going to have to eat out unless you do an Airbnb and you have a kitchen and you decide to go to a local grocery store. And by the way, that's something you can do too. If you do have a summer trip coming up and you're Airbnb-ing it and you're not just staying in a generic hotel, motel, families, well, if you're staying at a family friend or whatever place and there is a kitchen accessible to you, I would encourage you to find a local grocery store, find a way to get there. Usually you're probably renting a car, you can Uber it, whatever, you can find a way there. Good chance if you're staying in a residential area, there's a grocery store nearby, and you just stock up on healthy foods. And again, that one sentence, which I put below a couple of times if you're watching, but that one sentence makes all the difference when you're eating out. And yes, there may be things like they may put some wheat into the sauce that's on your dish, but you know what? You make the best decision possible when you don't have control over your food. But anytime you can have control, and that is if you have a kitchen accessible to you, use it. Try and avoid going out, but if you're going to go out, do your homework. Do what I did. Simple Google search. Find the menu of the restaurant, whether it's on their own website. Some restaurants, they're like these dinky little hole in the walls. They don't even have websites. But sometimes there are websites like I think All Menu and a couple other ones. They do list it. Grubhub, they do list their menus and fairly accurately. So you go through and you try and find appetizers, sides, main courses, whatever it is that you're getting, and try and find things that adhere to the sentence. If you can memorize the sentence and incorporate the sentence into every nutritional choice you make, whether eating out or eating in, you're going to be in a very good position to succeed. So I hope you guys found this helpful.